Blastpop here. Today I'm doing an unreboxing of Carthage, the First Punic War. I call it an unreboxing because the game was acquired by me in an open condition via the War Game Pay It Forward group. This game on the First Punic War is by Richard Berg and is part of what has only been thus far a two-set group of games of the ancient world. This is an operational level simulation of the area that comprised the war between Rome and Carthage during the First Punic War. And I'm surprised this game hasn't done well enough that it has warranted a third and fourth or more volume series, as I could see this traveling to not only the Roman world, but also during the age of Alexander the Great, and so on. As you can see, the full map comprises parts of North Africa, Italy, Sicily, Corsica, and parts of northern Italy. As you can see, solitaire suitability is reasonably high, and the complexity is somewhat higher as well. This game, I believe, came out in about 2006, and I had played the first game in the series, which included the rise of Rome and like the Samnite Wars. Nice presentation of a GMT game from about that era of about 2006. I'm trying to open this game up here. Two-inch box, and in it you find an instrument of death, otherwise known as dice. GMT, thank you, in essence. The ever-present GMT baggies. A rule book, black and white, reasonably well illustrated, where you move your units and formations on the board. It weighs in at 32 pages, and a lot of his examples and charts. You have a nice index, and how could you not like a rule? Auguries, or the consul's chicken, is finger-licking good. I give Berg credit in one area, that he certainly has a rather unique sense of humor. Cities and sieges. This is the nuts and bolts of campaigning. The only series I can think of that has any kind of similar, not so much a system, but scale and operations, is the one by Decision Games, which included Trajan and Caesar and Gaul. And it's their campaigns of the ancient world, designed by Joe Miranda, if I'm not mistaken. So it's got a similar scale in that respect, if I'm not mistaken. So nothing really super complex, although the scenario book includes a number of rules and is kind of thick and comes in at 48 pages. Now, beyond the scenarios, there are a fair number of special rules, both in general and scenario specific. So this is one of those kind of games that I believe you have to dig into it, and what you put in determines how much you get out of it. And again, more indexing for this particular book. And in terms of scenarios, it looks to be 4. Not a lightweight game, but nothing that an experienced wargamer wouldn't be able to handle. Also, counters, white core, which by today's standards are considered to be a little bit thin, but they're fairly neat, uniform, and are crisp. This is sheet 4. Strength points for your units, fleets or squadrons, leadership. Very nicely done. Sort of in the classic Great Battles of the Ancient World by Berg and Herman, using some of, dare I say, recycled art, but nonetheless tasteful. Continuing right along, more types of forces to compose your armies. And then a bunch of charts. 11 by 17, I believe, fold out. Really a lot to dig into, if you're inclined to do so. Myself, this game does interest me a lot. I hope to actually get it on the table at some point. Displays. More displays. So it's going to take up a fairly decent sized footprint to actually get this on the table, other than maybe your most basic of scenarios. Nothing fancy, but it's certainly adequate to the task. Your consular armies. So a lot of those pieces that you saw before, with all the nice artwork, don't necessarily go on the map, but are constituent parts of a larger force. Random events table. Political track. Magistrates. Advanced naval rules. Political charts. And 2 rather thin maps in terms of their mills and thickness. This one seems to be a little bit smaller, so it's more of a, instead of a 22 by 34, it is 17 by 22. Okay, very nicely done. Clear and to the point. And then you have the main map of Italy, where the Carthaginians come a-knocking, with some Sicily. See if I can get this unfolded for you. Very nice. Definitely a game of maneuver, counter-mover, interception. All those elements that you read about in the campaigns of maneuvering for position. Definitely not a tactical game. But then, that's not what I'm looking for in this either. Moving towards Sicily. Sardinia. And on to Corsica. Very nice indeed. I wish there were more games like this. So, what amounts to 1.5 maps, boatload of charts and tables, displays, more charts and tables, counter sheet after counter sheet, rolls, dice, and also available for download are the living rolls that I've printed out. And what's nice is they put blue for the rolls that have changed. It's both available for the scenario book and the general or system series rules. Also, you can mark them up and not hurt the quality of the books, the manuals that come with the game. So there you have it. This has been Carthage, the first Punic War, designed by Richard Berg. And hopefully someday we'll see a third game in the series, although I won't hold my breath. This has been Blastpop. Bye.